Happiness is not a treasure hidden on a distant shore, waiting for us to discover it, nor is it a prize that life awards to the fortunate few. It is a quiet, enduring truth and innate capacity we all possess, yet often overlook. It is a light within us, flickering and fragile at times, but never fully extinguished. To say, as Aristotle once did, happiness depends upon ourselves, is to acknowledge a profound and sometimes challenging truth. We are the authors of our own joy, the architects of our own fulfillment. It is a truth that calls us to look inward, even when the world demands our attention outward. Imagine this: you wake each day in a world brimming with uncertainty, where joy and pain weave an inseparable tapestry. The world around you may be chaotic, unpredictable, even indifferent. But within you lies a sanctuary, a place where happiness can take root and flourish. This happiness is not dependent on the perfection of your circumstances, but on your ability to find beauty and meaning within them. It is a choice, an act of courage, and a commitment to growth. We often seek happiness in the external, in possessions, achievements, or relationships. We convince ourselves that happiness is something to be acquired as a reward for reaching the next milestone or fulfilling a certain expectation. Yet, how often do we attain these things only to find the joy they bring is fleeting, dissolving as quickly as it arrived? This is because external sources of happiness are inherently impermanent. The new car loses its luster. The promotion becomes a stepping stone to the next goal. Even the most loving relationships are subject to the ebb and flow of life's challenges. To build our happiness on such fragile foundations is to invite constant disappointment. True happiness, then, is not found in the external, but in the internal, in the way we perceive, interpret, and respond to the world around us. It's the lens through which we view our lives, the meaning we assign to our experiences, and the values by which we choose to live. It is not something handed to us, it is something we create. And in that creation lies our greatest power. To understand this is to embrace responsibility for our own well-being. This responsibility can feel daunting, especially when life presents us with challenges that seem insurmountable. Yet it is also liberating, for it means that our happiness is not at the mercy of circumstances beyond our control. It is in us, always accessible, waiting to be cultivated. Consider the nature of adversity. Life is unavoidably marked by hardship, by loss, failure, and moments of profound uncertainty. These experiences test us, pushing us to our limits and sometimes beyond. It is tempting to view such moments as enemies of happiness, as barriers that prevent us from achieving the joy we seek. But what if we were to see them differently? What if we were to view adversity not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity? Adversity, painful as it may be, is a teacher. It strips away the superficial and forces us to confront what truly matters. It challenges us to grow, to adapt, and to find strength we did not know we possessed. It reveals the depth of our resilience and the boundless capacity of the human spirit to endure, to heal, and to thrive. Happiness, in this context, is not the absence of difficulty, but the ability to find light in the darkness, to extract meaning from pain, and to emerge from trials with a deeper appreciation for life's blessings. This does not mean that happiness is about denying or suppressing negative emotions. On the contrary, it requires us to face them with honesty and courage. Grief, anger, fear, and sadness are natural responses to life's challenges, and they have much to teach us if we are willing to listen. Happiness is not about avoiding these emotions, but about integrating them into a larger narrative of growth and self-discovery. It is about finding balance, allowing ourselves to feel deeply while also cultivating hope, gratitude, and joy. Gratitude, in particular, is a cornerstone of happiness. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, from what is wrong to what is right. It invites us to notice the small, often overlooked blessings that fill our lives. The warmth of the sun on our skin, the laughter of a loved one, the simple pleasure of a quiet moment. Gratitude reminds us that even in the midst of struggle, there is always something to be thankful for. It is not a denial of life's difficulties, but a celebration of its gifts. Happiness also depends upon our ability to align our lives with our values. When our actions reflect our deepest beliefs, we experience a sense of integrity and fulfillment that no external reward can provide. This alignment requires self-awareness, a willingness to examine our priorities, and the courage to make choices that honor our true selves. It may mean letting go of societal expectations, resisting the pressure to conform, or stepping into the unknown in pursuit of a more authentic life. But the rewards of such a path are immeasurable, for it leads to a happiness that is rooted in purpose and meaning. Relationships, too, play a vital role in our happiness. We are social beings, wired for connection, and the bonds we share with others profoundly shape our well-being. Yet even here, as Aristotle suggested, happiness depends upon ourselves. It is not the existence of relationships that determines our joy, but the quality of those relationships and the way we approach them. Are we giving as much as we are receiving? Are we communicating with honesty and compassion? Are we seeking to understand as much as to be understood? Happiness in relationships is not about perfection, but about mutual growth, respect, and support. Finally, happiness requires us to live in the present. How often do we postpone our joy, telling ourselves, we will be happy when we achieve a certain goal, overcome a particular challenge, or reach a future milestone? Yet the present moment is all we truly have, and it is in this moment that happiness resides. To live in the present is to embrace life as it is, with all its imperfections and uncertainties. It is to savor the beauty of now, to find joy in the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. Happiness is also an evolving practice, one that asks us to continuously engage with the complexities of our inner and outer worlds. It is a dynamic balance, not a static state. The pursuit of happiness invites us to keep growing, to reframe our narratives, and to meet life with an open heart. When we falter, and falter we will, it calls us back with compassion, encouraging us to try again. This process is not a single decision, but a series of choices made day by day, moment by moment. To say, as Aristotle wisely observed, happiness depends upon ourselves, is not to suggest that the journey is easy. It is a path that requires effort, intention, and perseverance. It asks us to take responsibility for our own well-being, to face life's challenges with courage, and to cultivate the qualities that enable us to thrive. But it is also a path of immense freedom, for it liberates us from the belief that our happiness is dictated by forces beyond our control. It reminds us that we have the power to shape our own lives, to find light in the darkest moments, and to create a joy that endures. So let us embrace this truth with open hearts and minds. Let us take ownership of our happiness, not as a burden, but as a gift. Let us seek beauty in the ordinary, meaning in the struggle, and connection in the relationships that enrich our lives. Let us choose gratitude, purpose, and love, knowing that these are the seeds from which happiness grows. And let us remember, always, that happiness is not something we find. It is something we create.